Robert, pleasure to have you on the program for the first time, I think. For those of the audience that haven't had the pleasure of meeting you or working with you, we'd love to get a quick 2-minute background on yourself.
Fair enough. I hope everybody can hear me. Name is Robert Rodriguez, native of the New York area, and been doing healthcare now for about 20 years, actually. On September 26th of 2003 was when I jumped into the pool, and I've been swimming in it since then. Prior to that, business school guy. I'm a non-physician in the industry, business school guy who did consulting, did a fintech startup and some buy-side work at a large company up in Connecticut. So pretty varied background. Last 20 years, however, it's been pretty much in the salt mines. I started literally with my first company, basically, that I started, working the front desk, like literally checking in patients, seeing the patients, dealing with all of the stuff that you have in that environment. And then, fast forward a couple of years ago, started HelixVM, and purpose of that is we're trying to build a platform to make the assembly of medicine easier for the physicians. So that is that's our goal.
No, really, really wonderful, and great to hear about how you sort of started off, sort of from the ground up and real grassroots stuff, and to sort of evolve to where you are now with HelixVM. Now we're very, we've got the pleasure of being able to work with you guys right now on a project we just started. But if you could tell the audience a little bit about sort of how HelixVM came to be and the impact that you guys are making on the industry at the moment.
Okay. So HelixVM came to be, it's an evolutionary process, which is to say, dealing with a lot of the issues inside retail healthcare. So I started kind of with urgent care, right? So you're seeing all types of patients in all types of scenarios. And, one of the things that I noticed, pretty early on was the fact that, getting information from patients, getting information from their referral sources, getting that information to physicians, and then obviously turning that back around is a pretty inefficient process. And so, time passes, technology moves forward, COVID hits, and all of a sudden there's this huge premium on being able to see patients quickly and efficiently because we were crammed. We were so busy, it was crazy. But, long story short is the idea to HelixVM was to basically try to make that assembly process easier. So fundamentally speaking, it starts with getting confirmed bookings on patients. So part of our platform and our software is about confirming a booking. A booking is not just a booking. There's a lot of information that has to be aggregated. We help aggregate that. We aggregate it directly from the patient most of the time. We also sometimes aggregate it through a third-party source. So that's part one of the platform. Part two is our clearinghouse, our AI clearinghouse for triage. And the purpose of of that is to basically try to create for the physician, in essence, a medical note, as close to a medical note with suggestive ICD codes, in order to simplify the amount of time a doctor spends with the patient. So for example, I noticed somebody had made a comment in the chat about how you have to actually use AI to make it easier for the doctor to spend time with the patient. Well, I would say that that takes two different forks. One is there are certain patients you don't need to spend much time with and you just need to get them in and out. And then there are other patients that you need to free up time to spend more time with. And I think part of what we're doing within our triage clearinghouse is trying to, in essence, segment that flow. So that way, as the doctor is seeing the patient, they're able to, in essence, spend more time or less time, even to the point of combining that AI with what we call kind of standby templates in order to fast track treatment. And we can, there's a lot of detail there in terms of how you do that. But fundamentally speaking, it's an AI-driven process. It's about bringing in a lot of subjective data from the patient, bringing in objective data when possible from some of the common systems that we have in the healthcare space. And then last but not least, it's also putting together what we would call kind of a discharge and rebooking system for that patient, which is to say, a lot of times when you bring in a case, you bring in a patient, there's always more work to do. The question is, what work is there to do? So we basically have put these three pieces together in order to start actually seeing patients. And the net is, what we've experienced is that we've been able to cut down the physician time by about 50% in terms of the applied time. And that savings tends to come from the physician not having to spend time doing triage, which many times they do, the physician being able to read the note ahead of time before actually physically seeing the patient. So that way they have a pretty good idea. And also having from the AI a suggestion, hey, listen, this is what I think the diagnosis is. Obviously, you as a physician can determine what it is, but this is a suggestion. So it sort of, to some degree, I would say, cuts down the guessing, while at the same time allowing the practitioner to really focus on the problem of the day and on trying to treat that patient.
No, that's really awesome. And if anyone wants to find out more about Robert and what the great work that they're doing right now at HelixVM, I think we put the link to Robert's LinkedIn in the chat, as well as the link to the platform itself and their website. So yeah, Robert, thanks so much for coming on. A real pleasure being able to speak with you on the program. Looking forward to catching up again next month to see sort of how the project with HITLAB has gone and seeing the progress that you guys have made with HelixVM in the next symposium.
Absolutely. Nice to meet everybody.